So the average teen or kid spend between 7 to 9 or 10 hours on their screen. In today's video, we're talking about understanding the impact of screen time and also signs that a child is actually addicted to screen. Now, when I say screen, I mean TV, cartoons, whatsoever the case may be. And lastly, practical strategies that you as a parent can actually employ, to help your child. Welcome here to another YouTube video. I'm Titi Ola Benson, a certified marriage and family coach. And like I used to say, one step, one strategy, one family at a time. So we're talking about healthy screen time for kids and for teens. Very, very important. We as parents need to come to a place of understanding the impact of screen time on our children. For people that have seen this movie on Netflix, it's actually a documentary sort of called The Social Dilemma. You begin to understand the impact and the idea behind most of this app that we use, most of the whole idea of how oxytocin is actually being released and dopamine into all of this app to make sure that we are glued to it. Now, whether we are adults or parents, we can even manage or sometimes find ourselves scrolling aimlessly, maybe for an hour or 2 hours, and the rest of them. Talk less or talk more of children that don't have a lot of cognitive control on what they are doing, which leads us to point number one about the impact of social media or tech or screen on them, the cognitive area. Now, because of the dopamine that is being released, they are always glued to it. It brings about this addiction. They're being glued to it 247, and then it's affecting their cognitive such that they cannot actually engage in deep thinking, and it's also affecting their attention span. So when you are giving instruction, their mind is half there, half not there. So when they are paying attention, probably in school, in other things that they're doing, their mind is not really there because of what? Over time, when you scroll, what you're doing is the fact that you are actually building your attention span to be maybe shorter than expected. And I think currently they said attention span for adults or humans is about maybe 5 seconds or so. Imagine for children that are always doing like this. So that means they can scroll out good information, bad information. They are just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. There's something it does to the brain. There's a lot of negative impact on them, cognitive wise. So, still on the impact of screens on our kids is the mental area, and this is very, very important. Addiction or staying glued to screen for too long can actually affect a child's it can cause them sleep disorder, can cause them anxiety. If they are not on the screen, if they are not watching something, they are not themselves. They just always want to grab a screen or be watching something. Pretty much I've seen kids that the moment you collect the phone from them or the screen from them, they are all over the place, they are fighting, they are just, even at times, maybe after they are done struggling with you, they are just restless. That is anxiety because of excessive screen. And it brings about depression. There's also this social media comparison. When kids are always online saying how many likes do I have, how many views do I have, all of these things affect them mentally. There's also the place of the physical effect. Still talking about the impact of screen on our kids, the teens and even the younger generation. The physical effect is the fact that it affects their posture, can strain their eyes for a longer period of time, and can lead to lifestyle of maybe obesity because they are sitting for too long. They sit, they play game, they sit, they order food, they sit, they do everything on a particular sitting. And we've seen that in different times, in different records now, that a lot of people are leading or living a life that is not good because of they are glued to their indoors, to the four corners of their house. They call, they work, they do everything from the screen. So even physically, it is not good for your child and for your teen, because on the long run, they are going to miss out on the points number 4, which is the social skills. That is the fourth impact. The social skills. They will not be able to socialize. A lot of parents come to us and they say, my kids cannot socialize, they don't talk in public. It's because they are glued to the screen. They can't wait to leave the gathering, leave the church, leave the mosque, leave the birthday party, and go back home and go to the back to their screen, or even just drag out their phones and go somewhere, because they no longer have a social life, so they cannot easily interact with people. And this is because a lot of parents don't know the practical strategies they should employ when it comes to screen time management with their children. So when kids are too glued to screen, They don't tend to have a social, life. They don't know how to interact socially. So these are the impact of too much of screen time on a particular child or on kids generally. Signs of addiction. How do you know if your teen is actually addicted? You may know as a parent and you may not know. But this is one way you actually know. They begin to neglect family time, they begin to neglect their studies, they begin to neglect their hobbies. As a matter of fact, they are present, but they are not present. That is how you can begin to know that a child or your teen is actually addicted to screen. You may know, it may become obvious that they are always very distracted, which is also point number two. They get easily distracted with whatever they are doing because their mind is usually not, maybe they are on a game or something. These are the signs whereby you can actually know if a child is actually addicted to screen. They are not interested in family time, in hobbies, in a lot of other things. They just want to be glued to maybe their screen, their games, and the rest of them. So this is how you can actually tell if a child is actually, glued or addicted to screens. And pretty much even as parents, you can understand the fact that when you get a notification on your phone, maybe on Instagram or whatever app that you actually use, you want to quickly check it to check what is going on. What are they saying? Imagine you as a parent and them as children that does not have any control. So if your child is distracted, it can be a sign that they are actually addicted to their screen. Distraction is actually a big pointer to the fact that a child can be or is actually addicted to their screens. So lastly, practical strategies that you as a parent can actually implement, to help your child that is probably addicted to screen, or you don't want them to actually be addicted to screen. What you want to do first of all is that you want to lead by example. You want to be the role model. Meaning, as parents, you cannot be on your screen for 4 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours at a stretch and expect your children not to do the same thing. They are seeing you doing it. So definitely they would also do the same thing. So first of all, you want to start with yourself and be cautious of how long you spend on this screen. And for most phones out there, you can actually check how much you spend probably per day and per week. So you want to first of all lead by example. That is one of the first of all way you want to tackle this issue of unhealthy screen time. Lead by example. Number two, establish screen-free time or places. Maybe dinner time or bedroom time, there is no screen. Or maybe 2 hours between the hours of 7 and 9 or 7 and 8, there is no screen. So establish these moments, this time, or these places. Could be bedroom, could be dinner, that nobody is on their devices. Devices is actually a way. Also, you want to promote hobbies, you want to promote sports, you want to promote arts. So you want to actually make sure that you have maybe a time slot for you to see your kids to go play games, to go, do other things. When I say play games, I don't mean play game on the phone. I mean, interact, maybe play ball outside, whatever the case may be, art, drawings, and the rest of them, maybe music and the rest of them. So create time whereby they can actually go and engage with real life activities, not just the screen 247. So create an alternative for them. Also, you want to actually plan, point number four, plan regular family time aside the screen time, which is not just them alone, but you getting involved to say, okay, right, we are playing a game or we are going somewhere or we're doing something. So that is going to be a good alternative for them to do without the screen time. Like I usually say, screen is a big deal. And if your kids are addicted to it at a very tender age, they're going to be distracted, they are going to be distracted, but beyond distracted, they are going to be glued to it 247. 247. So as a parent, you want to put down these measures and these structures to make sure that they are not addicted, or if they are, to manage the situation of things, not for it to escalate. If you have things, I can imagine the struggle. Already probably they are already debating the fact that, oh, why can't I be on my phone, blah blah blah, and the rest of them. So you want to put practical strategies in place to help you as a parent and to help your child, so they can actually be able to think critically, to look around their space and find solutions, and not just be on the screen 247. Like I said, the people that are behind these things, they are phenomenal at it. Their intention is just to keep you glued to it 247. Whether it's Netflix, whether it's Instagram, whether it's app, whether it's TV, whether it's YouTube, though that is an educational platform, but the intention is actually to keep you glued to it 247. So you want to take control and give control back to your kids and say, okay, you can do this for 1 hour, 30 minutes per day. If you found this useful, kindly share, subscribe, and like. And if you want us to actually mentor you one-on-one, please reach out to us on the number on your screen, and then we would love to meet you and would love to work with you. Want to see you guys in the next video. Bye for now, guys.